My name is Brian Bales, and I have the privilege of being the lead pastor of Christian Fellowship Church in Ashburn, Virginia, in Loudoun County. Not only am I the lead pastor here at the church, I also have the privilege of being on the board of Mosaic Pregnancy Center. You're a pastor just like me, so I know that you have all kinds of things on your plate, and you probably don't have much more time to read another email or listen to another video, but I implore you just for a moment, listen to the opportunity that you have as a pastor. In the last several years, I've come into contact with many people in my congregation and the surrounding congregation that have been dealing significantly with this issue of life. But no conversation has stuck with me more than a conversation I had some time back with a lady who had come into my office, and she had already had one compounding problem. She had had a relationship outside of her marriage. That was one issue. But that issue also led to another issue, is that she now found herself pregnant. And in the midst of all that was going on in her life, she now had a baby, a life growing in her. And the enemy kept telling her it wasn't life. You could do something different and you could put this baby to death and no one would ever have to know. I remember sitting there having this conversation, seeing the pain on this lady's face and seeing the fact that even though she knew the truth about Scripture that I was sharing with her, it was so hard for her to digest. In fact, that has been one of the most disappointing sessions I've ever had with people in my whole pastoral life of 20 years, because she left that place and I found out that sometime later she chose to have an abortion. Now, grace abounds. God has forgiven her. God has worked in her life. But I wish at that point I would have had some resources available to me then that I do now. Research tells us that over 50% of people who have an abortion claim to be believers. In fact, a recent survey came out and said that 4 out of 10 women who have an abortion say that at the time that they are considering or having the abortion, they're actively involved in a church somewhere. So this isn't just an issue that's outside of the walls of the church. It's an issue that's inside of the walls of the church as well. So as a pastor, I assume you know that, but if you don't know that, I want to charge you to encourage you to get involved in however you can give the truth of the gospel into the lives of so many women and men who are hurting, dealing with unplanned and unexpected pregnancies. So can I just ask you, as you go throughout your week and go throughout your month, to be on guard, to be on alert for the issue of life? Maybe you want to take and partner with Mosaic Pregnancy Center. That's what I do. That's what our church does, because they come alongside and help us in areas that we feel like we need help, and we can tag team and work together for the gospel in helping men and women in need. Maybe you just want to follow this email every week or every month when you get it. Maybe it's something else. But wherever you are, whoever you are today, would you just be reminded that what you're doing is good and great as you pastor, and it's amazing. And as you pastor and as you do it and you come into the lives of people who are dealing with difficult things, can I hope and can I pray for you that you will continue to show them the gospel, and then in areas you needed help showing them the gospel and the hope that can come from life, that you'll partner with Mosaic Pregnancy Center or some other pregnancy center in your area that talk about this key issue, that God has imprinted His image on every human being, and every human being matters to Him and matters for the gospel.